Well, Riley, welcome back, my son, to a new Spotlight episode of Greenlight Cinema. What are we doing today?
You're going to be talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and I'll be talking about Moon Knight because I've watched all of it and it was really good.
Tell us why you thought it was good. I couldn't sit through the first episode, so, different opinions, so let's see.
So, Steven, later on, he went to this place where they had this bed, there was a bag, and he saw his own reflection. His reflection was talking to him, and he had other person in him, and his name's Mark, so Steven and Mark, and Steven can turn into Mr. Knight, and only Steven can turn into Mr. Knight, and Mark can turn into Moon Knight, and then...
Oh, is that why one of them has a cape and one of them has a suit?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then later on...
What's the difference between the two?
Well...
Not trying to cut you off, but... I was just curious. What's the difference between... Do they have different powers, or is it still pretty much the same guy?
Mark has, Mark has powers, but Steven, he don't have powers when he turns into Mr. Knight. He's only, got these bars to fight with.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
And then, at the end, they're a villain that walks on glass.
Oh, yeah.
He dies, and, at the end... Khonshu is in this car, and then there's this other version of Mark or Steven, and he's Spanish or something, and he pulls out a gun and shoots the guy who walks on glass. I forgot his name, but he shoots him, and it was a really wild show.
It sounds like it. And you watched all the episodes to this?
Yeah, all the episodes.
Did they make sense? Because it seemed like the first one was kind of telling it backwards or something.
A bunch of it was confusing to me.
Oh. But did it make sense towards the end?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Well, do you want to know what I thought of Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
I wrote down some things, actually. I've always loved Obi-Wan ever since I was a kid. And I didn't dislike Revenge of the Sith. I thought I was pretty excited about it as a kid, and I thought my kids would like it. But I don't know if this is really a thing made for small kids. I want to say the first part of the montage where it says a recap. Riley kind of looked at me like, "You're gonna skip this?" But it was kind of like, "Where's this is a new show? Let's see if they're going to have some new footage," which I'm sure it's coming. We already had some little bit, which I'll get into that. It was a neat little opening. It felt like something a YouTuber made, the montage, because it cuts to Obi-Wan. Oh, maybe I'm skipping ahead. I'm not sure, but he's at one point having a bad dream. But then he sees these flashbacks of Anakin and stuff like that, and they show Anakin laughing, and then he's burning. That kind of made me laugh for a minute. I was like, that's a weird contrast. I knew what they were doing, but it was a little interesting. So, not want to get into too many spoilers or anything, but it felt like Obi-Wan's I'm not sure if you've ever seen this, Riley Bear, Total Recall.
Total Recall?
And I'm not talking about the movie with, I can't even think of the actor's name, but it's actually Arnold Schwarzenegger was in a movie and it was so good, called Total Recall. It's a little violent, kind of like RoboCop, but it's Paul Verhoeven is a very interesting director. But anyway, he's kind of like working on like a mine, kind of like in that movie is what it reminded me of. Obi-Wan's kind of going back and forth to work, and there's these people called Inquisitors, or like there's Obi-Wan around and more Jedi, you tell us where, and they're all like no, and it's pretty interesting. I guess you know, the Jedi are well protected in Tatooine. I don't know. Obi-Wan tries to connect with Qui-Gon. We don't see him connect. We hear a new ADR of Liam Neeson. I thought that was kind of interesting because he said something I don't think we ever heard him say in the prequels. He was like, "I'm so proud of you, Obi-Wan, and all of your accomplishments," or something like that. Then we see Leia. God bless you. Then we see Leia. She has a friend, a robot friend, a droid friend named Lola, who flies around with Mickey Mouse ears, like a little robot thing. Her mom's really stuck up, but Jimmy Smits and her are cool. They got this like little like finger thing they do, like, you know, father-daughter relationship. It reminded me of Dune in some aspects. It was really fun. I like seeing Jimmy Smits. I clapped when I seen him. I was like, yes, he's back. It was interesting to see Leia. Luke doesn't do anything. And, we see the little toy that he's playing with in A New Hope. And, Obi-Wan tries to give it to Owen. He's like, not happening. So Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm just going to cut right to it so that we don't get this too boring. Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers just kidnaps Leia. And so now Obi-Wan is forced to go on this thing because Jimmy Smits is like, hey, you're protecting this boy, but you're really not doing much here, so you gotta go save my daughter. It's the same thing, you know, son Luke, you know, daughter Leia. It's all Vader's offspring. So, you know, help us out, Obi-Wan. He's like, no. And then all of a sudden, he comes and confronts him. He's like, we really need your help, Jimmy Smith says to Basil Oregano?
Basil Oregano, played by Jimmy Smits. He's Princess Leia's non-biological father. He got blown up on Alderaan!
Alderaan!
Basil Organa says to Obi-Wan, we need your help. And Obi-Wan's like, okay. And he does the noble thing. And then it cuts off. And we don't see anything else. But I'm intrigued by this first episode. I'm spilling coffee on my notes. But anyway, it's a great... What I seen anyway was great. It looks like Ewan McGregor. They're doing a good little job with him. I'm glad he's not wearing the Kenobi robes already. He's like kind of wearing just like scraps of like things. He reminds me a lot of Rey. They should have made Rey his granddaughter or something. Like there's so many like weird similarities between these two. Yeah. So yeah, I found it not as interesting as I thought it was gonna be, but. This is only the first episode, part 1. I'm going to cut it some slack. I can't wait to see Hayden Christensen play Anakin again, reprise his role, or Darth Vader, whoever he's playing. I guess it's both. And I'll have to watch that show. What's it called?
Are you talking about Moon Knight?
Moon Knight, yeah. I keep wanting to call it Mennonites.
Mennonite?
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll keep checking some stuff out. We're still watching some new things. I'm going to check out Kenobi Part 2. Maybe he'll watch some of it with me. Is it world building? Is it worth watching? Kinda. But if you guys like this episode and like what we're doing, it's kind of like another Reels reaction type thing. I'm just spilling coffee all over the place. This is another Reels reaction type episode. And we hope that you're enjoying it. Please like and subscribe and let us know what you'd like us to look at next or talk about next. And we really appreciate your support. Okay, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.